Good morning, everyone. This is Cassandra Williamson coming to you with more breaking news from this week. All right, so we already know about all the stuff that happened out of the Supreme Court that allowed Tennessee to discriminate against transgender youth in the state. We know that that's going to impact a lot of people beyond just trans people in the state, but they're going to go after them in more ways than one. Other states will take this on too. The fight for our right to live freely and openly and honestly, it continues day in and day out now. It's just getting worse. And one of my episodes a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a week or so ago, can't remember which one, but I told you that in October 1st, that the federal government was going to shut down the option 3 line for 988, which is the LGBT call-in line for suicide prevention, and that they were going to cut the funding on October 1st and then be able to shut it down after that. Well, they decided to take this anger, or whatever you want to call it, this viciousness toward LGBT Americans to the next level. They've actually, during Pride Month, they've decided to go ahead and just cancel option 3 within 30 days. So any of our people, any LGBT Americans under the age of 25, you will not be able to go in there and get specialized care to help prevent suicides in that population for anyone under 25. And here's besides just being announced here in Pride Month, they actually they went a step further with it. They said LGB call line will be abolished in 30 days. They deliberately left the T out. They're not even willing to say who we are, folks. We're going to have to claim our name and move forward, because right now they have put us in the crosshairs of all of their anger and hatred and viciousness. It's all directed towards minorities in this country. And right now they are coming for you. And I can't understand why a single trans or LGBT person is continuing their employment with this federal government. I can't understand that anymore, because now we need to take this to the next level. We're going to have to do something about this non-violently. Let me just say that very clearly. I'm not advocating for any kind of violence for anything or any reason. No, I'll be the one turning you in if you do something stupid like that. So they've taken their viciousness to the next level now. Let's see, went after trans people from the SCOTUS, the Supreme Court of the United States, 6-3 ruling allows Tennessee to go ahead and just discriminate against trans youth. And now we hear that they're shutting down the 988 option 3 for LGBT, or as they put it, LGB, because they don't want to say that word, transgender. They don't want to say the word transgender. Oh no, they don't even want to acknowledge it exists. I mean, come on, you got to do the whole playbook with Project 2025's mandate for leadership. Eliminate all of those words they don't like, right? That's exactly what's going on. You're going to take away option 3 for LGBT youth to have someone to talk to prevent suicides, to help them from killing themselves. Come on, folks. The cruelty is the point here. And they're making these announcements during Pride Month. They're making this announcement about changing the name of the USNS Harvey Milk during Pride Month. It's viciousness on steroids from these people. It pisses me off that there's not more people riled up about this right now. Our intensity level is like lukewarm at best in opposition to all of these things. But you can't fight it, just by going out there and just making a lot of noise all the time. You can make a lot of noise, and you're entitled to do that non-violently. Don't hurt anyone. Don't throw rocks at buildings and stores. Don't burn stuff down. Don't tear up cars and people's property. Don't do that. You don't need to be in jail. You need to be out on the street talking about what it is that we're protecting. We're trying to protect our right to live openly and freely in this country. And it just is annoying to me that we got people who are gay men serving this administration and telling people, oh, the gays have got it good now. That's what was that? Richard Grinnell? Oh my God. just last week, or yeah, last week sometime, I think it was, said, all the normal gays, we figured it out. What the crap's wrong with you? Come on. Don't you see what they're doing? Or do you even care? Or you just want to be a macho man, you know, like YMCA macho. Yeah, I think that's what it is. You want to be the YMCA. La, 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 la. You want to be the policeman on the block or the fireman or whatever. Now, you think you got it made? No, you don't. These people are going after every minority in this country, and they have made it clear. They've told you where they're going. They've shown you the path they're going to take, and they've given you the playbook that they're following, and you're doing nothing to stop them. Those inside this administration who are LGBT, what are you doing? Oh, you're trying to protect your job, protect your family, protect your employment, and make sure you have a retirement and all that kind of stuff. While people out here will be suffering because of your complacency. It's annoying to me to see people in this community not willing to stand up and wear their, identify as who they are openly and freely. Because I'm going to tell you something. I live here in Eastern Kentucky right now, where I'm taking care of my mom, brother, sister, cousin, being here for them. Okay. That's why I'm here, right here in Pike County, Kentucky. I'm going to be out just a little bit here, just doing some things out in town, going out and seeing people, talking. What you see is what you get. Going just like this. And I'm going to be going up some of those hollers that would scare most of you to friggin' death. But you need to be seen. You need to be heard, but not in such a way that is abusive or mean-spirited or any of those kind of things. You need to be doing this in a way that is representative of all of America, the ideals of America, whether they're applying them to you or not. That's how we move forward, folks. Start from the ground up. Get out here and talk to people. Let yourself be known as a decent human being where you are. Don't be an obnoxious nut somewhere out there trying to say, this is what you have to say and this is how you must say it. No. You control you. They control themselves. You have no input in that, okay? That's what freedom is all about, right? But yet we have this federal government under the Trump administration doing everything in their power to hurt and harm America's LGBT population. And they're making a big deal out of it in Pride Month, during Pride Month of all things. It's cruelty, deliberate cruelty. You had changing of the Harvey Milk, USNS Harvey Milk, gay icon. You have, let me see, SCOTUS ruling that Tennessee can discriminate against trans people, trans youth. This won't stop there. Y'all can't, you're not that blind, are you? You do know that that's how they're going to do things. That's the way they do it. That's their modus operandi. Lay one stone this year and go get the next one next time around, and they keep building up these cases on the previous crap. It's like the National Health Administration, the National Institute of Health, and HHS under Robert Kennedy came out with that report that's saying that, trans youth, adolescent trans youth don't need that kind of care. The trans care is not supported, or it's just not supported by anything. And all of that, they based it on the Cass report, which was a bunch of garbage to start out with. Everybody knew that too, but yet they're building these precedent cases and moving forward in a direction to further discriminate against minorities in this country. They believe, let me just say this now, they believe that everyone is equal in this country under the law and under the Constitution. And that's the case. That's probably the case. That's exactly the way it should be. However, in reality, that is not the case. It's never been that way in this country. Now I'm going to go out and go talk to some people, and I just hope that I can leave my anger right here in front of this microphone, because you're removing a number that allows LGBT people under the age of 25 to call in when they have suicidal thoughts and ideation, and they're thinking of hurting themselves, harming themselves or others. And they have a way to call in and talk to people who understand them as they are, but yet this administration is cutting the legs out from under that in 30 days. It's gone. It was going to be after October the 1st, and they're going to defund it entirely that way. But no, they made the announcement just a couple of days ago, doing all of this stuff with SCOTUS and the Supreme Court and everything else. They announced it all. I mean, they're going after LGBT people during Pride Month. If you don't see that the whole purpose is just to be cruel, you need to open your eyes up. Come on. You need to open your eyes and see the entire purpose behind all of this is cruelty, and to shove every LGBTQ plus person under the floorboards of the closet, nail the thing down, pour concrete on top of it, and throw it in the ocean. They don't want to see or hear from any of us in this community. They don't want to hear us. They don't even want to say the name trans. I mean, goodness, they took the T out of Stonewall Museum, cultural site, which was the riot was started by trans women. But they took the T out of it because they don't want to have to say transgender. This week, they're taking the T out of whenever they start talking about the 988 option 3, removing that option for transgender and get lesbian, gays, bisexual Americans, kids under 25, to call in and get some help to keep from killing themselves. But they leave the T out because they can't say transgender. You know, it just hurts them to say that. I mean, they have such a problem with that. I don't know what it is, but they are just so weak-willed and unable to get their head wrapped around the fact that there are people in this world who don't believe like them, think like them, look like them, or anything about them. They're completely different. Come back later today. We'll do it again, folks. Bye.